Okay, so now we've quilted our blocks. What I've done is I've quilted along the zigzag, I've used my walking foot, and I've lengthened the stitch length to 3.5. It just makes your quilting go a little bit faster and it's easier to unpick should you do it wrong. You can see much better on the back where I've quilted. You can see I've just done those zigzag lines. It just gives the bag a little bit of extra strength. So we'll move on to handles now. So for the handles, this is what you need your 2.5 inch strip for. You're going to press a 1/4 inch seam along one long edge, leave the rest open. You're going to cut your strip of wadding to 1 inch wide. You're then going to lay it down. You're going to fold over one edge over the wadding and then fold over that pressed edge over, and then you're going to stitch. First of all, stitch a line down the centre that is holding all that in place, and then stitch a line either side. It just looks more designery. So once you've done that to both of your handles, you'll have a nice fairly solid sort of strip like this. You're then going to attach that to your bag. So you're going to take your bag, you're going to line up the handle with the edge of the bag. You're going to make sure it isn't twisted, and you're going to line it up at that edge as well. Now what I've done is I've had the side where the little extra bit of seam is on the inside. I'm going to pin it in place just so it's in line with these top blocks, and then I'm just going to stitch backwards and forwards just across the top there, as you can see I've done with that handle there. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bag right sides together and I'm going to sew up these sides. Okay, so here's the bag with the sides stitched up and with the handles stitched on. Now be careful when you're sewing the side seams that you don't sew the handles into the side seams. Ask me how I know. Turn the bag right side out, push out your corners so they're nice and square. And there's the outside of our bag finished. Now we're going to put a lining in the bag. So take your piece of calico or whatever you've decided to use. It's always best to have a light fabric inside your bag, so when you're hunching around for things you can see things better. So you're going to take your piece of calico, you're going to fold it in half so it's the same size as your bag. You're going to stitch all the way down one side, and the other side you're going to stitch down, leave a gap and then stitch, carry on stitching. This is so that you've got a little space in the lining to put your hand through when we come to turn through the bag. So now I've got the right side of the lining on the inside and I've got the right side of the bag on the outside, and I'm going to put the bag inside the lining. This does look a little bit weird, I know. Tuck your handles down inside and be careful that you don't sew them in. Give it a little shake down. Then I'm going to match these side seams and then I'm going to stitch all the way around the top of the bag. Okay, so now I've stitched all the way around the top. I have gone backwards and forwards where the handles are just to reinforce it just that little bit. So now I need to find that gap I left in the lining and pull the bag through, hoping that again I haven't stitched the handles into the seams. So now it still looks a little bit odd, but what you're going to do is you're going to push the lining down inside the bag, and then all that's left to do is fold over the top, give it a little press and then top stitch all the way around there, all the way around that top edge, and then the inside where you had the hole, literally just tuck those little edges in tuck those two little edges in and then stitch over the top. Oops, tuck it in nicely. And then stitch over the top. You can hand stitch if you want to, but I would just stitch over it. Okay, so here's our finished bag. Just to show you, I chose to use my walking foot to stitch just around the edge of that border, around the top, and on the inside, to close up that little gap, I literally just tucked those edges under and then stitch across the top. Fold it all back inside, maybe give it a little press, and there's your finished bag. You've been watching Rachel from So Happy Patchwork and Quilting Classes. Pop over to my website, patchworkquiltingclasses.co.uk, for more details, patterns and classes. While you're there, sign up for the newsletter and I'll keep you in touch with all that's new and what's going on. Bye!